What happens next is not my fault.
Oh my God.
We have a brand new game.
I was trying to contain myself. Oh my.
Go option one, not safe. These are insane.
And Brandon keep killing it.
What's good, creative fam? Y'all can already feel it. You can tell things have changed. Things around the office have definitely changed because it's my favorite time of year, y'all. It's the holidays. It's Christmas up in here. Hopefully y'all appreciate some of the extra work that went into pulling this week's episode off. But I'm not here alone. I am here with my amazing co-host, Mr. Joe.
Brandon, I know you told me you changed the music, but I was waiting for the old music, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
Hey, this music is something you can bump to, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, welcome to our
Welcome.
Festive Uncensored episodes.
Yeah, I hope you're bouncing.
Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying all the new music. Hope you guys enjoying a couple of new setups because we got some new for you.
Canon gang in the house.
What are you talking about?
Canon gang in the house.
What? Why are you talking about Canon gang right now?
Well, I just saw too many Sony gangs in the chat, so I thought we'd represent.
You are genuinely wild. But yeah, let's hop into the chat. First off, shout out to every single body who is in the building right now. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. We are live. We have a jam-packed episode for you guys. Plus, because it's the holidays, I'm always trying to level things up a little bit. I like to do some special stuff during the holidays.
Yes.
So, a few things have changed. For those of you guys who enjoy our super chats, they have been updated for the holidays. Also, for all of our amazing members out there, we have a few updates for you guys as well. So as you guys comment or as you guys sign up for memberships, we've got some amazing things in store for you also.
Absolutely. And just as we're plugging stuff,
Yeah.
some new merch.
Oh, yeah. Show that merch off.
Show that merch. Dude. And you show that merch off.
Oh, of course, bro. Of course. Hey, this is an exclusive one, though. Like this one, we're still on the fence on if we're going to put this one out yet.
We're
So,
dabbling. But
we're dabbling.
Brandon, oh, gosh. Oh, did you know?
Yeah.
That people that bought merch
Yeah.
received merch.
Yes.
Or should be receiving it
very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
And our very own
Yeah, shout out to you, Mr. Cam Mackey.
Cam Mackey with the uncensored merch on.
Bro, he's representing on Instagram. We appreciate
Yes.
that.
If you bought merch, send us a picture.
Yes.
Send us a DM.
I was actually looking at the orders, and it looks like everyone who or most people who've ordered, they should be getting it very soon, like between today and possibly tomorrow, for the people who ordered like day one. So what's crazy about that is like Cam Mackey ordered last Friday and he already has it.
Yeah.
So we're shipping pretty quick, which I'm pretty happy about. So if you guys are interested in getting some merch, we do have that linked down below in the description for you guys to check out for yourself. And I believe as of right now, it should work this way. But if you put in that order, you should still be able to get it by Christmas. So
Oh, dope.
yeah,
That's really
so
cool.
it'd be really sick. So if you need to send it over to, your significant other and be like, yo, this is what I want for Christmas, because we know they're not buying our cameras for us.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like that for you. My wife
Seriously.
ain't buying nothing that I really want,
Seriously.
except maybe some merch.
I
So,
put this on my Instagram that I rented a camera, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. And I was like, babe, I think I found the right one. And she was like, and?
She's like, you got the right one in that camera bag right there.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care. I don't care.
I need to be able to tell the differences.
Is it $50?
Hey, let us know in the chat if you guys can resonate. If you have a significant other who doesn't understand the value of one camera to another, and you have to,
Or if you have too much gear already.
well, yeah, that could also be another issue. That's a whole nother issue.
Oh,
Dude, we
my-
got a comment this week, or maybe at the end of last week,
Mhm.
where somebody was like, y'all just have gas, which is gear acquisition syndrome.
100%.
And I was like, yeah.
100%.
Do you not watch the show? Like, I
we
don't
would
think
have
we're
to
hiding
be
that.
delusional
Yeah.
to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. But as we hop into the comments real quick, we always give a shout out to our first comment of the day. Thanks for showing up early. Afso.
Oh, no. Go up.
There's no more.
Go
There's nobody up.
Go. There has to be.
That's the highest one. That's the first one I can pull.
What?
Yeah, is there earlier ones?
I think so.
Oh, my
well,
first one
on
I'm getting is
YouTube.
Afso.
Well, Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
No, that Ecamm says it's
the first comment.
the first one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what YouTube says is the first comment. So bring him up
Okay.
because he's a member.
Yep.
AF Seal. We got to talk about that A75.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure.
We're gonna talk about that A75 today.
Now this is what YouTube says is the first comment. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't know who's right.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube though. Vader 66. Canon gang.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I'm-
I got proof. I got receipts.
I'm looking at him and he's third down. I'm
I
looking
got
at him and he's third down.
receipts.
I'm just saying.
Canon gang.
I'm just saying.
You
Hey.
got to go back to the source.
I am at the source. I'm looking at the source here. But yo,
You're looking at the source of the source.
I'm looking at all these amazing people who are tuning in. Evan, shout out to you. He says Vader gets credit for first comment, but stream isn't even live. Okay. All right. I'll
gotta
give
go.
it to you.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
I'll give it to you.
Canon gang.
But we got a lot of people tuning in. Sony gang in the building as well. Gustavo saying Canon gang in the building.
What's up, DM colorist?
DM colorist.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, bro? Good to see you again. Love when we get a chance to see y'all turning back up. Early gang. I like that one.
Yes.
I like that one.
Guess who's back? Sade.
Sade's back. Hey,
Sony gang.
hey, we ship Sade's thing?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I sent out the receipts.
Awesome. All right, Sade. Hopefully you're enjoying that. But yo, shout out to you guys. I'm gonna jump to the front because
What up, Carlos?
we got a lot of them here. Appreciate that take. Carlos said recent hot take on artist versus YouTuber was fire. If you guys didn't see that clip,
You got to go up one.
you gotta check that out.
He is watching us at 2 a.m.
Bro,
You're a real one.
hey, that
Oh,
is
Takadua?
nailed it.
Or is it Otakuda? Otakuda? Okatuda.
You just added an extra K in there.
No. Otakuda. Okatuda.
That's not even what you just
No, the
said.
first time was bad.
Yeah, no,
Give me a thumbs up if it was right.
that terrible.
Okatuda.
But yo, super excited that you guys are here. Answer the question: have I listened to the Kendrick Lamar album? I think the better question is how many times?
How many times?
have I listened to this album?
Has he listened to anything else?
Not really. Honestly, not really. We should play a quick game. How many times do you think I've actually listened to the album all the way through?
Ooh.
All the way through. How many times have I actually listened to the album? Take a guess.
Do you know?
I have a rough idea.
Okay, I'm gonna say reasonably working man, about 33 times. Nail?
Pretty close. I know I'm between 20 and 30. I don't think I've hit 33, but I know I'm comfortably between 20 and 30. One day, I sat here and listened to the whole album at least like 6 times.
Yeah.
Just in my office while I was working, just on repeat.
Oh yeah.
And it's so short. It's like 40-something minutes. So, yes, definitely listen to the album. But, yo, shout out to everybody who is tuning in. Y'all are killing it with the comments. I'll be honest with you. We ain't got a whole lot of time or else we would never get through the show. But I like Christmas Gang.
Christmas Gang. What's
Love
up, Will?
that. Good to see you, Preston. What's good? Also, because he is one of our members, we have our special members animation. So whenever we get a member who leaves a comment that we pull up, you will get that lovely members animation. And shout out to all of our members who are tuning in.
Brandon be putting in that work. Who did I see? Kenneth.
Yeah.
Kenneth, you can't be the #1 Canon fan up in here, Kenneth.
He can be because he also just became a member. Shout out to you, Kenneth. You officially, I will take that mantra away from Jarrell and I will pass it on to you, Kenneth. You rightfully deserve it.
Can you be?
I think he can be.
Can you be?
I think he is.
Okay.
But yo, shout out to everybody. Lumix Gang in the building. Z-Cam Gang.
We got a Z-Cam.
I think this might be a first. Have we ever had somebody repping Z-Cam
Bro,
that
you
hard?
be forgetting every time.
Do I?
We be bringing up Z-Cam.
Do we?
Somebody's like, I'm here. And every episode you're like, we got a new Z-Cam.
But yo, let me hop down here to the bottom real quick because we did just. What?
Did we have a super chat before? No, that was Kenneth.
That was
my
it.
Gosh. Okay.
But yo, super excited. Let's see. What are you guys working on? Bro, y'all are ridiculous. I'm seeing all of the Kendrick Lamar comments. They're saying 10 times, 13 times, 41 times. Now, if you're asking me how many times have I listened to TV off, that might be in the 40s or 50s.
Oh yeah.
I will go and listen to TV off and then start an album again and then get to TV off and then like play it like 2 or 3 more times just to hear them yell mustard. So no, real talk. Absolutely loving that. But let's hit these super chats real quick. Shout out to Mark. He says, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Dude, so fitting.
So fitting.
So fitting.
It is very fitting
So
because
fitting.
now you guys get a chance to check out one of our new super chats. You guys ready for this?
Are you ready? You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I think I'm going to run the goal one. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's hit this. Hey!
Oh, you got to turn that up, Brandon.
Bro, it's so hard to run the audio.
You got to turn that up. I can't even properly vibe.
But could you vibe?
Turn up for next time.
Could you vibe with the lights?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
look
for
at these
sure.
lights, bro.
I'm still vibing.
They still hitting it.
Yes.
Yo, real talk. Setting up these lights, a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. But I
Yes.
enjoy it. Trying to code all these lights to do what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
It is a deal, but we're here for it.
None of-
Sade says, paying my dues for missing last week. Hey, it's okay, bro.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. We missed you.
We did miss you.
But we also have a special super chat
we do.
deal for you. Yeah. You
Oh,
ready?
No, I don't know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
You ready?
Yeah.
Boom.
Hey.
Used to be Bitcoin. Now it's Christmas balls.
Tell me why.
I don't even know where that be coming from.
You just be saying the
I
wildest
just be
stuff.
saying stuff.
It's like you say it, and then as you're saying it, you mentally realize what
It's
you're
like,
saying.
did he say Christmas balls?
Live on, no, I can't edit that out, bro. That just happened. Real
It's
talk.
just here.
All right, so to kick things off today, we
Yes.
did want to also let you guys know, for everyone like Kenneth, who just became a member, we are officially launching our very first members-only live stream, which will be taking place this Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so right after the show, make sure members go over to our community tab where we have all of our exclusive members-only content. We're going to have the exact schedule as well as it's going to be a Q&A / we're going to allow you guys to submit videos for us to review, and we're going to talk about those videos. We're going to react to those videos. And so we will be having that members-only live stream this Wednesday. So we want to make sure you guys are aware of that ahead of time. If you haven't become a member, but you would like to join us on this stream, it's not too late. You can sign up at any tier. All tiers will be able to access this membership only live.
Yeah, we're going to tease this just for a little bit because later on in this episode, Brandon and I went back into the archives. We went back to some of our very first real estate video shoots that we did.
Yes.
And we're going to do it on the show, so make sure you stick around for this show.
Yeah.
And we're going to roast. We're going
to let you guys roast us a little bit.
We're going to let you guys roast cuz man, 5, 6, 8 years ago was a long time. 12 years ago.
Yeah, I need credit for all 12 of those years. When you guys look at it and you see how bad it is, remember it was 12 years ago.
So members, like what we want you guys to sign up for memberships. We got 3 different tiers. And so if you're in a place where you're like, hey, I've got questions specifically either about cameras or business or production, or even wanting to get better at your craft, in the Q&A on Wednesday, a lot of you guys already put tons of questions on our video in the members lounge,
That's a good
whatever
place.
it's called,
That's
members lounge. We're going to answer those questions. We're going to review any videos that you guys send in. So definitely sign up, become a member so that we can have more intimate conversations.
Good job. I didn't know where you were going to
Intimate.
go.
Yeah.
Why do you guys say it twice?
I don't
Saying
know.
it twice made it worse. It was perfectly fine until you did that. All right.
So
Super excited about our next topic. As a lot of you guys saw in the title, in the thumbnail, Arri has officially released a new camera. Now, full transparency. Seems kind of late to be releasing a new camera.
yeah.
But
Does it really matter with Arri?
I was about to say, do you think they're really caring about a Black Friday sale? Did anybody pick up an Arri on a Black Friday sale? Let us know in the chat.
Yes.
But it feels like still kind of late in the year.
Yes.
But from a production standpoint, it might be genius because if people got some tax money that they need to, spend and write off, this could be the perfect time. Or at least it could have been if you could actually buy this camera.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Arri actually just announced this brand new camera. This is the Alexa 265. You have the specs on it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so while you get those specs pulled up, just to give you guys a little bit of context of what this camera is, Alexa had the 65, which was I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced it or seen it or pulled up pictures of it for yourselves, but like it was a huge camera.
Mhm.
I'm talking like a brick, like a cinder block brick, actually maybe a little bigger than a cinder block brick. Now they have taken that and put it into this much smaller chassis, which as you guys can see, it basically fits into the palm of your hand. And the big news around this camera, along with the specs and everything that they did internally with it, is that it is currently available for rental only. And so immediately my thought was, this is one of those cameras where if you got to ask how expensive it is,
you can't afford it.
You cannot afford it. So let's go through the specs and let's sort of talk through what this camera is all about.
Yeah, definitely. So it is a massive sensor. It's a really big sensor. It's bigger than the 35, but it has the same color science as the 35. It is purporting 15 stops of dynamic range.
I think you're feeling rage. Knowing that you can't get it.
It's only a third of the weight of the 65, which is really crazy. It comes in at 7.3 pounds, which means the Alexa 65 was 23 pounds body only.
Yeah.
Glory.
Before you rig it up.
I don't know that I could rig a camera with my current setup to 23 pounds. But yes, is it 6.5K or 6K? 6.5K.
Yeah.
And an ISO range of 3200 to 6400. Wow, that's not very high.
Arri's never really had to have crazy dynamic range or even crazy resolution. Like, honestly, them pushing over 6K is actually pretty
It's got to be
astounding.
Netflix.
And so that was my question. Is like, they must be pushing resolution because of Netflix or, these other streaming platforms that need these like certain resolution. They have these certain resolution requirements. But I think, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't have enough money in my bank account to even talk about this camera. Okay? Like when we normally make jokes, like, are you talking or are you buying? I don't even think I deserve to be whispering. Okay? So for me, I find that the most interesting thing about this camera is the fact that it came out. Like, when I look at the industry right now and we start looking at, whether that's Red's cameras that are becoming more affordable in price, right? Or we look at, Blackmagic, what they're doing, what Sony is even doing, what Canon just did this year with the C400 and the price points that it's at. I kind of got this feeling that from at least the camera space, even in the industry, the big players, it kind of just felt like they were in a place where they felt like, okay, we need to sort of, pander's the wrong word, but like sort of talk to the indie filmmakers, the low budget filmmakers, the content creators, the YouTubers. And that made me sort of excited in a way because I felt like we were getting these like super high end cinema cameras at a much affordable price. That was more of the everybody's type of camera. But then Arri comes out with this camera, which, the fact that you can't even buy it, I think speaks for where the price is actually going to end up. Eventually you will be able to buy it. But it sort of made me start thinking through like, is there still a super high end market? And are all the camera companies, everybody else except for Arri at this point, feels like they're sort of racing. I'm not gonna say to the bottom, but like to the where the masses are. But Arri is like, no, we still believe in cinema. We have this high end camera, and it's like, is it rental only because they probably wouldn't sell a ton of them? I don't know. That's sort of like where I want to start the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of actually thinking about this. I was like, there's two approaches. One where I'm just kind of, it's going to sound like hate. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why is this even coming out? Like, who is this for? Like, and obviously I know who it's for, but then actually, as I was sitting here, one of the things that kind of shifted my mindset was this is for cinema.
Yeah.
Like, this is for incredible movies.
Yeah.
Like, this is another paintbrush in a director or in a DP's hand to paint a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And just thinking about the movies that will come out shot on this, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be cheaper than the 65 assumption.
Okay.
Like that, like it might not be accessible to me, but there's probably going to be a whole generation of people that it is accessible to rent for their movies, that maybe they would have to shot it on a different camera, or maybe not even the right tool, but now they can shoot it with this really large sensor. And so honestly, it was beginning to just change my mind a little bit to say, what is the incredible cinema that's going to come from this? But yeah, 100%. Like, I do think we have seen, you said not to the bottom. I think everybody is racing to the consumer, like racing towards you, me, like everyone, and tempting us, where I do think Alexa is kind of like, nah, like it doesn't even make sense for us to try to take this $100,000
Yeah.
per camera brand down into the 30s or 40s. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So we're gonna stay here.
I think that idea of like only letting it go to rental,
Mhm.
I think is actually might be the best move to make, because you do have this camera that if you released it would feel a little out of touch with just like the status of, you know, people being able to buy this camera, people even considering the camera. But by being able to make it still a fully fledged 65, but in a much smaller package,
Yeah.
and making it rental based, that allows you to bring the price down, because now you don't have to sell it at a high price. You can put it at a pretty low price, make it rentable.
Mhm.
And then because of the size, I think it can be used on a lot more productions
100%.
than the original 65 ever could. Because, I mean, if you wanted to even get any type of a movement shot with the original 65, you're talking full dollies, cranes, I mean, Ronin 2s with like, I mean, just like the amount of additional needed. But with this smaller, lightweight camera, you can rig it up. You can keep it pretty small.
RS4, baby.
I don't know. I'm not saying all that. The internet might roast you. Now, we do have some information coming in. Dylan says that according to Petapixel, it's looking like it's
$80.
going to be
Wow.
$80,000. I think that's a comma. That's supposed to be a comma. But that is insane.
Small flex.
I mean, that
Small flex.
is a pretty insane price point. Now, my question is, and let us know in the chat. Also, real quick, shout out to Ruben. Anytime we see our big boys in the chat, we got to give them some love. So shout out to you, bro. Quick deal. What camera? Because I think today this is like way more. I think it's a little bit more difficult. Let me put it that way. It's more difficult because the prices of cinema cameras vary wildly.
Yes.
I mean, we're looking at 80, possibly, allegedly $80,000 coming over from Dylan. He's saying Petapixel says that it's going to be $80,000. But then you also have FX30s that are, what's an FX30 go for? Sub 2,000?
Yeah, 15 something maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So my big question becomes, what justifies now the need to actually go into a cinema camera? Now, I got a few caveats. I'm not finna sit here and argue with you what is a cinema camera. I already saw it on your face. I'm not finna sit here and argue with you what exactly is a cinema camera.
That's a throwback.
But the question is, when should you choose to upgrade from what you would identify as a mirrorless camera into
I'll tell you
into a
what's not a cinema camera.
Oh my gosh. This man finna go off again. But like, what justifies the jump from a mirrorless camera, DSLR camera, to an actual cinema camera? And chat, I want to hear your answer. I really want to know, because I've had a few people ask me recently, like, hey, you know, what is the real benefits of me going to a cinema camera? Why should I jump to a cinema camera? Because I remember when I bought my first cinema camera and all the headaches that came with it.
Yes.
So like, when do you think people should make that adjustment? Because I do feel like when you make that jump, the images start to change.
Yeah.
The workflow starts to change.
For sure.
Your look starts to change. And before you know it, you're in a whole different ballpark. So when do you think is a good idea to make that jump?
So, chat, this is opinions only. Like, obviously, there is everybody's path. Everybody's journey is going to be different. But I'll just tell you mine. I feel like for me, being way longer a DSLR shooter, being a mirrorless shooter, before I took the leap into a cinema camera, I felt like my DSLR and my mirrorless cameras were perfectly fine. And in a lot of ways, they are. Like, they shoot video, they shoot 4K, they shoot, and I didn't have anything over 4K, but they shoot 120, and they have C-Log, and they do all like these different things, and that's great. But I will tell you, the moment that I bought my C70, there is something in the sauce, in the codecs, in the 10-bit, in the 4K, in the RAW, that the image is different. Like, it just looked different. And now, like, say, later on in the show, we're going to go and review our real estate footage. When I look at the highlight roll-offs, when I look at the dynamic range, when I look at of my cinema cameras today versus my 1DX Mark II, oh my gosh, I look back at that footage and I'm just like, cringe. So with that being said, for me, I think when you want to pursue a higher quality of video, you buy a video camera or you buy a cinema camera. When you want to take better photos, you go after a hybrid or a photo camera. So I feel like when you're ready and you want to take that leap, buying a dedicated cinema camera is probably your best bet. And also just workflow, if we're just going to be honest. I feel like the way I would have to like rig a DSLR to include microphones and to include batteries and all sort of stuff, convoluted. With my cinema cameras, so much easier. Like the IO, so much easier. It's meant for video productions. Can you do it with your DSLR? 100%.
Yeah.
Can you do it with your mirrorless? 100%. Not taking it away. You can do corporate jobs. You can do professional jobs. You can do so many different things with those. But like when you're ready to take a step up in video quality, when you're also ready to make your workflow easier, like built-in XLRs, built-in NDs.
Well, your red didn't get that.
This is true, but the ability, well, I mean, but it's got the adapter to be able to do it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Now,
instead of a 3.5 mini jack.
Kenneth says your answer should be, apparently you upgrade when red tempts you.
Bro, when the shill makers call, you got to shill. Cam Mackey knows. When they call, you got to shill, bro.
No, so for me, I think it is more for like yes, I think there is an image thing, right? And the image thing is the one where I feel like it gets like it's easier to fix if you're still on mirrorless. Like, oh, you want a little bit of that softness, a little bit of that bloom. There's some filters that can maybe help you get there, right? Yes, there are. There are. Not.
Show me that dynamic range filter.
No, I didn't say dynamic range. But I said like highlight roll off and kind of get a little bit of that softness that you typically get. Yes, you can get some of that. You can get 8K out of a mirrorless camera.
Yeah.
So it's not a resolution thing.
Yeah.
I do think that like your image that you're chasing for is a factor. But for me, it was what you said about, having a cinema camera, like having a camera that is video first. Because like when it comes to using DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, that kind of stuff, like there are just certain things that are missing, whether that's proper peaking or waveforms or, different ways to actually monitor your exposure, false color. Like those are elements that go a really long way in video, especially when you know what you're doing with them, that can really help you dial in an image that you just can't get on a mirrorless camera. And I think we are seeing mirrorless cameras trying to catch up to that. Like I know Lumix Gang is in the chat and they're loud, but yes, I'll give you your credit, Lumix Gang. Y'all have a lot of y'all's cameras do have those features built in, which is great, which is why I think you get to those conversations of like, what is a cinema camera, what is not. But I do think that when it comes to like looking for a camera that's going to help the workflow of making a video easier, that's when you should start looking for something new. But I will say this, and I'll die on this hill. I don't think you should buy a new camera until you are very frustrated with your current camera and what it is not currently offering you.
That's good.
Because that is when you'll know, when you start asking creators, like I get this message at least once or twice a week, what camera should I buy? And that's it. That's the whole message. They just DM me and they're like, what camera should I buy? Dude, there's like 50 follow-up questions I need to ask you. And I think the easiest way to answer that question without having to ask, somebody else is ask yourself, what am I currently frustrated with out of my current camera? Or what is my current camera limiting me from being able to do? And then now go seek a new camera that solves that problem. Because then you'll get that new camera and immediately you'll understand the value of that new camera. Because I can't tell you how many times at the very beginning where I would buy a camera and I would really like it, and then I would just get antsy about buying a new camera, and then I'd buy a new camera, and then I'd be like, all right, how am I going to make this thing worth it? And it's like, oh, because I didn't really buy it to solve a real problem.
Yeah.
And for me, like when I went from Blackmagics to Reds, I did not really enjoy the DaVinci Blackmagic RAW workflow. I just didn't like it. I know Blackmagic Mafia don't come for me for that, but I will say I just didn't enjoy it. So when I wanted to go to Red, it was because I wanted a better RAW workflow for me. So the second I got my first OG Komodo, that RAW workflow immediately was a benefit. And I was like, oh yeah, this is why I upgraded. And I felt it immediately.
No, that's really good. Well, hey, let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. Because it seems like, man, y'all done dropped a lot of comments.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to keep up. Ron says, what justifies it? Money. I do think that's important.
Yes. Yeah.
Price.
And man, I can't say this because like I've definitely bought stuff on credit.
Yeah.
But I've heard a wise person say, don't buy it on credit.
Yeah.
Like you can go into debt so easily, so quickly buying things on credit. And especially if you're not working to be able to pay it off, bro, those bills will stack up. So yeah, if you have the funds, the throwaway money, or if you have the business to
Invest.
Justify it,
Yeah.
do it.
Now, Gustavo has a really good point here, which I half agree with, but then part of me kind of disagrees at points. Well, I'll say I agree, but with a caveat. He says, once you have a foot in the production world, having a cinema camera like that will open new doors with networks with the network you are building.
Facts.
I know a kid that has an Arri Alexa Mini LF, and he has benefited. So I will say this only works well with two caveats. The first, you got to know how to use that tool.
Yes.
So just buying a super expensive camera, but then like not having good work with it isn't going to help you. So you better have the knowledge. And then the second is then you got to be able to go market yourself as the guy who knows how to make a good image come out of that camera.
Let me tag on to that. Not only market yourself, but be in the right market.
Yes.
You could have an Alexa Mini LF in Dakota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and it might be tough sledding. Have that same camera in LA or Miami. Well, LA might be tough because everybody got
competition,
one.
yeah.
But be in Miami, be in, I don't know, New York.
Yeah.
In the right market too.
Got to be in the right market. That is for sure. Roving Earth says, there's a space for those big cameras, but it's not really needed nowadays. A person can create a masterpiece with mirrorless or phone now.
You
This
should have
is-
cut off at mirrorless. I'm just fine.
No, I agree with you. I do think there's still a room. Like, again, it's one of those things where you got to ask yourself, what do I need this image for? What is the purpose of this? Like,
Yes.
even with my Raptor X, like, there have been times where we're using it in virtual productions where I'm like, this is the best camera for the job
Mhm.
for virtual productions. It's a super expensive camera, though. However, I would not want to take my iPhone to shoot a virtual production project.
Yes.
It just wouldn't happen.
Yes.
All right, Fox coming in. He says, when the workflow demands it. Yep. The more money is invested, the less you can afford things to go wrong. High-end cinema cameras give you that extra latitude for less things to go wrong. This was a lesson that I learned on one of my very first like bigger productions. I think it was like a $50,000 day.
Mhm.
Like for everything, like costs, not profit or anything like that. Like just everything to happen on that day was like $50,000.
The crew, the cameras,
Yes,
the
crew,
talent,
talent coming in, crew being there. I don't even think
the
gear.
location.
Yeah, I think it was like gear rental prices at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I just remember somebody saying, like, this is a $50,000 shot. We cannot afford for it to go wrong because we don't have another $50,000 to try again tomorrow.
Mhm.
And that's when it sort of hit me like, oh, on these bigger productions, like I could imagine for like Marvel and like all these other things, they're probably looking at $200,000 days.
Yeah.
You know, actors, talent, hair, makeup, props, wardrobe, all these things. You need the camera that's going to capture it.
100%.
And you probably got like 2 or 3 of them just in case, because to redo that entire day, to redo that entire set, you're not trying to pay that a second time.
Bro, I could only imagine the film days
Oh,
where they're burning actual film.
bro, can you imagine being the guy pulling focus on that?
Missed your line.
Yes.
Was
Dude.
too loud on set.
Dude, that would.
Gosh, you're fired.
Yes, immediately. All right, we did just get a super chat came in from Mr. Tim C. He says, for both, what camera would both of you love to see under the Christmas tree if Santa paid for it? First off, thank you so much for that super chat. Gotta give you your super chat announcement. But
Thank you, Tim.
what do you want to see?
Brandon, I would. Now this is tough. This is tough because of course there's lots of cameras out there.
Yeah.
But if Santa would bring me such a present as an R5 Mark II,
Dude,
Santa, I'd take it.
is your wife watching this week?
I've been good this year. I've been real good.
Dude, I don't know.
There's lots of cameras out there. So I'm going to be honest. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Because really, another KX would be awesome. Or a Raptor would be awesome. Or a Burano would be awesome. Or an A12 would be awesome. There's lots of awesome. R1 would be awesome. A Z9 would be awesome. A GFX2
Thank you
would
for
be
helping buy me
awesome.
time. More options. Give me more options.
Gosh, all of those. Too many options, as Kendrick Lamar would say. But I don't know.
I don't.
But if I'm being realistic, R5 Mark II.
That's the camera you want under the tree this
Yes.
year.
If I'm not being greedy. I'll take a Hasselblad. I'll take one.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like if I was able to get anything under the Christmas tree, I mean,
Hold
in
on.
my current
Tim, are you
state-
rich?
Yeah. Are you Santa?
Are you asking?
Is this an option? Is this
Tim, DM me, bro.
I think right now, if I could get anything under the Christmas tree, stop begging. If I could get anything under the Christmas tree, it would be those Leica lenses.
You didn't ask for no lenses?
I know. I don't really want a camera body.
Oh, gosh. I'll take his.
Yeah, you can have mine. I'll take some lenses. I mean, realistically,
For sure.
probably pick it. If I have to pick a camera, I'm probably just gonna go with another red.
The XL.
Yeah, give me
Of the
that.
whole family.
Give me that XL. I'll
the
take
whole
that.
family.
I'll take that. There's nothing really else that I can really think of grabbing. All right, let's see. I just lost my
Alrighty,
total.
guys. We have lost our. Oh no! Look at
There.
that. It's back. Brief
all
heart
right.
attack.
Let me. No, we didn't. I don't think we lost stream. I think the screen just went.
No.
to sleep.
I know. I was like, oh, what are we gonna do?
All right, let's hop into. Let me blitz through some of these really quick because I do got to give a couple quick shout outs. First off, shout out to Mr. Camera Junkie. Just
What?
became a member.
Was he not a member before?
Did
Did you upgrade, Mr.
apparently
Camera
not.
Junkie? Lewis.
So, shout out to you, Lewis. Appreciate you joining and becoming a member. In case you guys just got in here and you showed up a little bit late, we are going to be having our first members-only live stream on Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll have more information about that in our members community area, so just be on the lookout for that. It'll be on Wednesday.
And all 3 tiers are able to do.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. So doing Q&As, and if you guys have any work or questions that you'd like us to review, Cam. Yeah, I'll take that Z8.
Cam says you want the Z8.
I want it.
No, not his. He says you want
I
one.
want it.
Read the whole comment.
No, well, we had a conversation.
Ruben says you should get a Lumix.
S9?
I'm not on camera.
No,
for
I'm just
that.
asking. I don't even know Lumix cameras like that to be able to say anything other than the S9. What up, Portier?
Yeah, Mr. Porter says, yeah, a red is just it. Yeah, dude, that's really it.
Oh.
And appreciate you. I appreciate you letting me know that the set looks good. We got more stuff coming. It's gonna be a
What?
great week.
Put up Tim's comment. Not asking. He's not giving. But his wife did get me an early Christmas gift, and it was the Canon R1, and I lost my mind.
Your wife bought you an R1?
What planet does your wife come from, Tim?
Yeah, and how do they train them at that planet? Can I send my wife to that planet? These are all legitimate questions. Tim, I need full answers.
Dude,
DM me full answers.
Cam Mackey, why does that sound so weird, bro?
What do you say?
I'm gonna make Jarrell touch my S9 on live. I think we're cut from the same cloth, Cam Mackey.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Shout out to Donnie. Just became a member as well. Shout out, brother. We
What up,
appreciate
Donnie?
you. Oh, wait. Whoops. Y'all should subscribe, but I hit the wrong button.
Hey, right now, there's like 190 of y'all on the stream right now, and I think we only have 29 likes.
Yeah.
This is your reminder that if you're enjoying this content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Do you know that we are only 40 people away from 5,000?
Yes.
Let's hit 5,000, bro.
That's what I want for Christmas.
Yes.
I want to hit 5,000 subs on this channel. That would be amazing. Porter says he got a good wife. Yeah, he does. Dude, everybody.
All the stuff she be buying you, Portier?
Yeah, for real.
Gosh.
He says I must have been good this year. Yeah, you had to be. Good night. All right. Now, when we asked the question of, when should you get a cinema camera? This popped up because Jarrell recently got his hands on the R5 II.
Oh, you got me scared for a second.
No, Jarrell got his hands on the R5 Mark II.
Yes.
And y'all, so when did it come in?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Dude, tell me why Jarrell got it and immediately I got a text message. This is an immediate buy.
It's an immediate buy.
So I'm going to let you, for a moment, Canon fan out for a moment on the R5 II. And just tell people, I know you haven't had it long enough to get like a full official review,
100%.
but I would love to hear, what are your first impressions on the R5 Mark II? Does it live up to the hype? And can you really tell a difference?
Yeah. So December is probably one of my busiest months for production.
Mm-hmm.
And I rented it from Lens Rental. They obviously aren't sponsoring. You could, though. But it came in yesterday for a shoot that I have starting on Thursday all the way to Sunday. And I'm so excited about this camera that it literally was taken from my house and brought directly to on the shoot. I threw the battery in, threw a card in, and started shooting immediately and was like, I'm going to figure it out as I go.
Wait, on the job?
On the job.
That's like the worst idea you could possibly do.
That's how much confidence I had. I started the job with my R6 Mark II. like 30 minutes in, and when my wife brought it to me, I like literally took the card out, put a card in, and was just like, let's roll. And so, anyways, the R5 Mark II, if I'm telling you why it felt like an immediate buy, okay, I'm gonna tell you like the feelings first, and then we'll go into the deal. So like, don't just judge me based off of feelings. Y'all be having these feelings too. Instant.
So aggressive.
No, I'm just saying. I'm about to say some stupid stuff.
Okay.
and I don't want to be judged for the stupid stuff.
That's all right. Go dumb. It's all on you.
All right. The R5 Mark II is instant premium in your hands. Instant premium. It feels so nice. The ergonomics are incredible. The one thing that I will say, it's heavy. I've been shooting on the R6 Mark II for almost a year, and the R5 Mark II will cramp your wrist. It's really heavy. But I will tell you, all of the buttons, all of the dials, all of the even the hinge on the screen, the EVF, incredible premium experience. Obviously, you're paying $4,300. It better be. But it's an amazing camera. But I will tell you, the first time I snapped a photo and I looked at it on the EVF, which is insane. Like, instantly in the EVS without magnification, because it's just so good, that the focus is tack sharp. I took the first photo and I instantly knew that 45 megapixel jump from the 24 from the R6 to the R5 is what I was missing in my life. Missing.
That is
I ain't
dumb.
never had anything over, I don't know, 24, 25, 24.
So you felt the sharpness.
100%. And then when I zoomed into the eyeball,
Mm-hmm.
when I cropped in, I didn't crop, but when you zoom in on the camera and you see the resolution, you're like, oh, 100%. Like, R6 kind of felt. Here's the deal. I don't want to like throw shade on the R6, but like, because I love it. I use it every week. But it just falls apart. It can fall apart, especially when you need to crop in.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of cropping in. So from a photo standpoint, colors, autofocus, I will tell you what's trash.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what's absolutely trash. Just because I don't know if we're going to have any of these. Is it worth that? Is it worth that?
Are you about to be ice cold?
We about to be ice cold.
Oh, it's ice cold in here.
It's ice cold in here.
It's ice cold in here.
It's ice. You know what's trash on it?
What's trash? What's
Eye
trash?
control.
Oh, is the eye autofocus trash?
It's trash.
No.
It's trash. Does it work?
That hurts.
Does it work? It works.
Yeah.
Like it 80%. Expectation, bring it down 20%.
Wow.
And I will tell you the amount of eye strain, like my eye trying to focus, like trying to look at the thing and like trying to get it to where it's supposed to go.
Okay, whoa.
Not eye out of focus.
You're talking about the thing that was in the R3.
Yes.
It was trash in the R3.
Yeah, the literal like trying to look into it and like trash. Like the eye fatigue is insane.
Yeah.
Within 10 seconds, I was like, I would never use it. Maybe it's for the youths. The youths can't afford the camera, but maybe it's for the youth.
Bro, I will say, I said it in the R3 video, and a lot of people got mad at me, but I believe that I follow to find the focus spot. I think it is a gimmick. Just let it go. Like Canon, just let it go.
100%.
We don't need that feature.
Ain't nobody want it.
Nobody wants it. And the logic around it is like an EVF itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is so small. Your eye can literally only travel so far. So how much looking around do I really need to do to really be able to move it from one place to another? I have found better use of just using the screen and just sort of dragging
100%.
if I need to. Or really, I mean, like a lot of these cameras are so good, I'll just set my focus area to wide and then tell it, and it finds the face.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting like a person, it feels really unnecessary. The only time I've actually found it to be beneficial is shooting high speed stuff like sports, baseball or like cars drifting and stuff like that. That's been a little helpful, but
I wouldn't use it.
I don't think it's necessary.
I wouldn't use it because I feel like your eye. I feel like the moment your eye fatigues and you've got to bring the camera down, and I don't know how to explain it other than you're trying so hard to like literally focus with your eye, and you're moving it around so much that you just end up like having to take the camera down, which that never happens. Like not never, but like it has to be hours of shooting to make that happen for me. But with the eye control, gosh, it's like within like a few seconds of just like trying to look into every corner and trying to move it. And when it's not moving, trying to like literally strain your eye to move it to where you want it. And it's just like, dude, this is stupid.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously in love, didn't like that part. What are you, 3 days in, 2 days in?
12 hours in.
12. Okay. So 12 hours in to using this camera, you do feel like it is an instant buy.
Sell both my R6 Mark IIs.
That's the status it's on.
And buy the R5 Mark II genuinely as fast as I can.
Wow. Well, I mean, for the first 12 hours, that's a pretty high standard.
I have one other take on this camera.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It might be
I don't want to hear this.
The 8K Raptor killer.
It's okay.
It might be the 8K Raptor. No, no. I have not been able to put it through its proper video specs. Like for me, and I mean this like in a real way. For me, if I were to buy the R5 Mark II, because like here's the deal. It may seem like we're made of money. Oh my gosh. I am not made of money. If I'm genuinely, if I can sell and the tough part is the R5 Mark IIs, man, they went down to like $1,700 for Black Friday. So like realistically, what are we selling these for? 14, 12? That don't even get me anywhere close to the R5 Mark II. So if I'm being realistic, it might be 7-8 months, unless you hit me up, Canon, before we actually get an R5 Mark II, especially with the KX purchase. But for me, and I mean this in a real way, the R5 Mark II, I am not looking for it to be a video camera. I'm looking for it to be a freaking dominant photo camera.
Yeah.
Just that's what I want it for.
I still feel like the original R5 Mark I could still be that camera. No.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. No, I'm sure. Because that's like the thing about Canon, bro. Photos do not be taking leaps.
No.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. If you're looking for an amazing
from
photography camera,
yes.
I feel like from the R5 Mark I to the R5 Mark II, I don't think Canon made a huge jump in the photography thing, like
Yes.
in the photography side of it.
Yes.
It has the eye tracking thing, which you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
I like that EVF, though.
Okay, yeah.
It's so nice.
Is it worth that difference? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to ask your wife that question because we all don't have 10 wife.
It depends how many. It depends how much credit I got. That PayPal card.
This man just told y'all don't put things on credit.
We real, son.
Immediately, how much I got left on that PayPal? This man's wilding. All right,
Portier, be quiet.
What did he say? Yeah, let's pull it up. Go ahead and read them off.
I was about to block Jarrell. The Z8 is running circles over them. Bro, ain't nobody running circles on Canon. The Z8 is incredible, Cam. But I'll tell you off stream. The Z8 is incredible. I am not knocking it. But ain't nobody running circles around Canon's flagship.
Wait, so is this Canon's? Oh, that's what you text me. This is the flagship.
This is
the
flagship.
R1's not the flagship.
I mean, let me hold the R1.
Yeah.
And then I'll make an official designation. But when you have the R6 in your hand and you have the R5 Mark II in your hand, you're like, oh, built different.
Built different. Yo, so real quick, for everyone who's tuning in, hearing that, Jarrell's over here just having his time with the R5 Mark II. I want to give a shout out to Ruman, who says that it is time to make a deposit in the Jarrell Lumix Camera Fund.
3 more payments of $5. We'll be able to get that S9. Used. I'm just playing Ruben. If Ruben's taking shots, we taking shots. We got shots?
Yeah, we still got shots.
We got shots.
We got shots. You can take shots, bro. We can still take shots.
I'm just playing.
Oh man. All right.
Damn, Mackie, he's so ridiculous, bro. It's
Yep.
got more than 9 stops.
Now, I think everyone's just fighting you. He says Black Magic stills are better than Canon.
Man, get out of here. That's what every Black Magic Mafia fan says.
They're not.
Every.
Yeah. Nah.
They all say it.
I remember I made a video about the Black Magic, and I was like, yeah, it's a cinema camera, so don't expect it to take photos. And I saw so many comments. It has a photo button. I mean, it also had a battery slot. Doesn't mean that it had a good battery either.
Now, some of you guys are saying it would be smarter for photo only. When I say that I would not use it for video, I mean, obviously, I would use it. Like, I'm not, like, one of the things that Brandon put me onto game from a long time ago when we first started working together is this idea of tiers. Like, you have your, let's say your $0 to $500, maybe $1,000 tier, so that you don't necessarily have to say no to jobs. So you have a camera body that works for maybe like social content, or you have a camera body that works for lower paying passion projects maybe. And then you have another tier that is just like, hey, we're going to do more. We need more capabilities. Maybe we need to record for longer and not have record limits. And you have that tier. And then you have a more premium tier, or you work up to those tiers. And so I feel like for me, the R5 Mark II, I would definitely love that C-Log 2. Love it to be able to match with the C70 better. But I would not be buying it with video in mind.
No, I think that's smart. Again, like we said at the beginning, knowing why you're getting a camera and like seeing a limitation in your existing. And sometimes this is sort of this could be good advice or this could be terrible advice. So take it or completely forget it. But sometimes you maybe don't know what you're missing out of your camera. And so like with Jarrell, rent a higher end camera and just go use it. Maybe have a job that could use that extra oomph. Rent that camera and you can experience it. The bad side of that is it's hard to unring the bell. Once you see what another camera can offer you, or once you see what other lenses can offer you, then you might have to start clutching your wallet a little bit, and it becomes much harder.
2 years ago, I rented an R6, and 8 months later, had an R6 Mark II.
So what you're saying...
I am putting this out there.
So what you're saying is you have now rented the R5 Mark II, and in 8 months, you're going to be pulling out a new hat.
Honestly,
switching back to Canon.
I don't think Lens Rental is on here, but Lens Rental, if you're on here and if you would gladly accept my 2 R6 Mark IIs in mint condition for the R5 Mark II, I will put those back in the box.
Bro, you're insane.
Hit me up.
You're genuinely insane. All right, I'll pull up cams real quick and then we'll move into the next one. So it says, Jarrell, for the price, do you think the R5 II or the Z8 is the better camera?
Do you want my uncensored? He wants my uncensored opinion.
Oh, that's right.
He wants it. Gosh. So Cam, from an ecosystem, 100% the R5 II is the better thing for me. I can't say it's better for everyone. You know what I mean? But I've got 10, 12 EF, RF lenses.
Yeah.
Like, for me to start over on a Z8, which is an incredible camera, I think it's probably a little bit cheaper too.
Yeah, but I want to ask,
couldn't, it would make sense for me.
I understand that, but I want to take his question. For the price, these two cameras in a vacuum.
Let me pull up the Z8 specs.
What are you looking at? What are you thinking?
I got to pull up these Z8 specs
because I feel like.
Let's do a comparison.
I feel like.
So they both have 45 megapixel sensors.
Yep.
Oh, it does 8.3K 60 frames in RAW. You can't do 8K 60 in full RAW on the Canon, but you can do it in SRAW. So that might be a plus side for the Nikon. I don't know what is in RAW good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as good as Red RAW.
Canon RAW is, at least maybe in Premiere, isn't the best.
Mm.
It's not. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not Red RAW. I wonder which one's heavier. 4K 120. They look like the same camera, dog.
I can tell you from my side of things,
And but I will say it's $800 cheaper. So for it being the same camera, but the autofocus is going to be better.
the Canon autofocus.
Yeah, that's a universal comment.
Maybe
Pretty universal.
Maybe. Yeah, I would say that for video, I think the Nikon wins, hands down.
Why is that?
I think color, I think workflow, I think what? You want to fight me on this? Let's go pull up some Canon. Let's pull up the Canon colors. You want to jump to the images? Let's go pull up this Canon color and let's talk.
I think we're talking about preferences when it comes to color.
You're right.
Is that fair?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think that the Z8.
You said better, like
it is better. It is better. You have more to work with.
Autofocus is like objective.
Let me tell you why I think it's better.
Okay.
Color science may be objective.
Okay.
But the ability to work with the colors that you have, I think you can work better with the Nikon.
So the workflow is better.
Because not only do you have RAW, and you can say Canon RAW versus Nikon RAW preferential on the workflow. I think Nikon's is better.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Nikon, you're also going to get ProRes and ProRes RAW internal on the camera. So not only are you getting Z RAW or Nikon RAW, but you're also getting ProRes RAW as a secondary RAW option. And then you have just regular ProRes if you want to work with that too. And then you also, from what I have, like from my personal experience, and I know I've been like talking about these a lot, but when Nikon and Red came out with those LUTs for the Nikon system, that conversion LUT, it changed something for me when it came to the colors. Because applying that correction LUT and then starting to color on top of it, so like made it so much easier. So I'm just gonna say, to me, the Nikon is a bit better for video.
Yeah.
I think in the world of photography, it could go either way. But I do believe that you do have to figure out what ecosystem you want to play in.
100%.
And regardless to what ecosystem you want to play in, I still do think that Canon has a better ecosystem overall. Because you do have the legacy EF and the RF lenses, and you have all of the different cameras to choose from, because most creators, filmmakers, photographers will never just have one camera. Canon gives you a few more options that Nikon currently doesn't give you, but I think Nikon's going to catch up really quick.
That is a very fair and respectable take. I will say that I do respect both brands. Canon is always going to be deep-seated inside of me, but because I am a value-driven production person, I will say if we're starting from zero and you had $5,000, the Z8 is probably a better buy because
clip it.
It's cheaper.
We're done.
It's cheaper.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. He has officially confirmed.
I'm saying it's better because it's $800 cheaper.
I'm just saying
your money will go further.
You know who would never say this? You know who would never say these words?
Who's that?
Kenneth. Kenneth would never say these words. I got you, Kenneth.
Kenneth can't see prices? He can't see prices?
Why can't he see prices?
I'm just saying, he can't see prices? It's like asking me, like...
I'm just
yeah, for sure. But we got the clip, boys. Wrap it up. Cam, send out that Z8.
I love it.
But yeah, for sure.
All right. Now, I know we've been doing a lot of talking about, getting new cameras. And for most of us in the chat, most of us who I know a lot of you guys because we get a chance to talk on Instagram and, we hang out. I know a lot of us are actual professionals at this. And so, Jarrell, you want to go ahead and get that story dialed up?
That's
you
what
still
I was looking for. Yep, I got it.
So we love the ability to help, like to give feedback. It's one of the reasons why we're doing our members only Q&A. So that way we can answer questions, because let's all face it, doing this job as a freelance videographer, filmmaker, content creator, whatever you want to call it, there are a lot of times where it's very lonely. you're dealing with a client and it's just you. And like maybe you don't have other creators that you can call on, or maybe sometimes you're afraid to call them because you don't want to sound stupid. I know I've definitely personally been there. And so we went on to Reddit, and we found this very interesting story that somebody was sharing, and it sparked a conversation between me and Jarrell. Now, a lot of times when we have our conversations, we finish them and we go, "Dang, we should have just recorded that.
Yeah.
That would have been a great clip or whatever." But this time we decided we wanted to actually bring it to the show. So I'm gonna let Jarrell start off by sort of telling the story. And then chat, we would love to hear your feedback on how you would handle this. But then we're going to give our honest, and when I say honest, I mean like our honest thoughts, uncensored, on how we'd actually handle these situations.
Yeah, this is coming under r/filmmakers. All right. So this story goes like this. Everything I want to do everything I want to do to better myself as a filmmaker gets put on the back burner. It's nearly impossible for me to even attempt to work on my reel because I hate all of my past projects. But when I think of filming a new project, I get scared that it will look terrible. I think worst case scenario all the time and will never get anything accomplished. I just think of all the time that I've wasted with this career, quote unquote. I went to college to get a good network and to get familiar with different equipment, but I hated college because all the filmmakers I had in my classes were judgy, and I couldn't click with anyone. And the equipment we had was a joke because the quality looked horrible and we weren't allowed to use our own stuff. So I didn't buy a camera because of that. And now I still don't have a camera because I'm poor. So now I've graduated, but have little to no experience actually shooting a film or know what position I want to pursue. My fault, I know, but I don't know how to get out of this loop I've been trapped in. I just avoid any stressful situation unless I have to do it. I want to be a filmmaker, but I'm feeling really lost and overwhelmed. That's a sucky place to be in.
Dude, when he said I'm feeling lost and overwhelmed, that hit me so personally, because there's been so many times in this career where, like, you know, whether it's you're looking for clients to put you on retainer, or where it normally hits me the most is like you have a retainer and you think they're going to renew, and then they're like, we've decided to go a different direction with our marketing budget, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's in those moments where I think you just like overwhelmingly like have this doubt. And then on top of that, you add in the fact that like I personally deal with like imposter syndrome on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone has been here. And so I wanted to just kind of open up that conversation and just sort of like talk through this a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this even prompted the next section where we're going to go back and look at old stuff that we've shot and really just kind of be able to evaluate it. But yeah, when he said, I hate everything that I've shot, that's like, have you guys looked back on your past work and just like kind of cringed a little bit? Or do you look back and do you love it? We'd love to know from you guys. But no, that definitely resonates, because in the moment when I've made something, I've been like, oh, that looks pretty good. I like it. Like, oh, you know, maybe some things to change for next time.
Yeah.
But several years pass by and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Like, let's forget about that. Thank you, Vimeo and Dropbox, to be able to go down memory lane. But yeah, 100%. I think somebody said this in the comments where they're like, first, I think this guy needs counseling. I think the tough part is I feel like there's so many things going on inside, maybe emotionally, because it is possible that everything he shot doesn't look good, but it does sound a little bit like there's some, like maybe just inside the head a little bit when looking at his past projects.
Yeah, I totally understand the idea of, you know, because I will say I personally didn't go to film school, right? But if I did go to film school, the only reason why I would be going there is for the network, because I do believe that you can learn all this stuff on your own. I mean, I've done it, right? Yeah. The other thing is, one thing you have to learn about your work, and I heard ironically, I heard Mr. Beast say this
Uh-huh.
about YouTube videos, which is that like every 6 months he looks back at his videos and he hates them.
Yeah.
And he should.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of opened up something in my mind, which is like, if I don't love what I'm doing today, or if I put out a video and I'm like, man, it really could have been better, or I really should have done this, or like in 6 months, I should look back and think that my work is bad and that I should be continuously moving forward. And if I'm currently stuck on a project and I don't love how it's coming, like I need to finish it out and then go back and learn and sort of dissect it and see what could I have done better. Because I believe that I think Scott just put it in here and it's like a big one for me. He says, welcome to imposter syndrome. Art is never finished, it's abandoned. The moment you embrace that, the better you'll be. Also, you'll rarely be criticized from someone who's better than you, which all those facts like bleed so true.
Yeah.
Like first off, imposter syndrome, no matter how good you get, it never goes away. I've had the pleasure of shooting content directly for Red, the
Mhm.
brand that like I would have never dreamed in my career. Like
Yeah.
my dream was to own one of their cameras, never to work with them. I never even thought that was even possible, right?
Mhm.
Even on those projects, imposter syndrome setting in the entire time.
Yeah.
Like you were with me on another project we did with Nikon, right? The entire time I'm going through that process, imposter syndrome is sitting in. And I'm just trying to tell myself, you made a plan, stick to the plan, let's finish it, and then we'll live and we'll learn from it, right? It never goes away. But the one thing is that when a project, like you always have this idea that like, oh, eventually I'll get to a place where I will just love everything I make and it's always going to be amazing. And like, no matter how high I have like interviewed different directors, DPs, people have done stuff like on Netflix or done stuff like in theaters, they always have something where they're like, yeah, that really could have been done better. Or yeah, well, we ran out of time here.
For sure.
Or, I look back at my old work and it's terrible. And I look at their old work and I'm like, it's better than my work today.
Well, this is so interesting. And this guy's a little political, but I listened to like a business podcast. And so Patrick Bet David, he talked about, somebody asked him, what are you planning for 2025? And he said, I need to take where I'm currently at and go to the next level. And that seems like a very like basic on the surface. But he said part of that, why we don't actually end up doing that is because what we have to do is we have to look at where we are currently right now and determine there are areas that I can improve.
Yeah.
And there's areas that I can get better. And how do I evaluate my current self right now in a way of saying I haven't arrived, I haven't gotten there, I'm not the best version of me right now, and then what do I need to do to get to the next level in 2025 and define those goals, write them out clearly, and then go after it. And like to me, that just kind of resonated that if you have gotten to a place where you've just fallen in love with your work, that's not like a bad place to be in, but there's a very good chance that you're in a very small fishbowl. Not necessarily that the work that you're doing is not important, but you've kind of gone to a pond where you are the biggest fish and you shoot the same thing or the same types of thing all the time. I think it's your drive. I think it's other people's drive. I think it's these directors' drive of constantly pushing to refine and get better and shoot bigger and to do better projects, that once you get out of that pond, you realize, oh my goodness, like, bro, I could just, it reminded me of that. I think you said it last week about Shane Hurlburt.
Yeah.
About like, and obviously he's incredible. He's awesome, like incredible, awesome. But like, I feel like it'd be easy to kind of feel yourself being so incredible, like lighting, DP, like masterclass, but to have an actor scream at you.
I'm sure. I mean,
like, I'm sure that and not that it's like a demeaning thing. Obviously, like that was demeaning, but like just how quickly you can realize that like there's still more to learn, there's still more to grow, there's still more to get better, that sort of stuff.
Dude, I personally, when I look at like growth and like getting better, like yes, there are times where you look at your work and you don't love it, right? But I do think that you have to give yourself that open mind to know that like there is always more.
Yeah.
And also give yourself a little bit of like understanding that like when I step into a new field, I'm probably not going to be as good in that field, right? Like I remember I was shooting real estate for a really long time and I got to a place where I was like, "Oh, I got this."
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to do a commercial and I was like, "Oh, this is totally different. How do I shoot for people? How do I frame like, how do I get beauty shots? How do I light for this? How do I light for that?" And it's like sometimes even when you feel like you are, locked in a certain area, changing just a little bit of that will drastically change things. I'm going to say this, and this is not to bring up any shade or anything.
Yeah.
But I have a really close friend here in Houston who does films, and I love his stuff. He's an amazing filmmaker, right? And constantly he'll reach out to me and be like, "Yo, I'm not getting this YouTube thing." And I'm like, "Dude, you're an amazing DP.
Yeah.
You know how to light, you know how to shoot, all those things. You have storytelling dialed in."
Thank you, Brandon.
No, not you. And but when it comes to like YouTube, it's a different beast. Same thing. It's video. Video is video.
Yeah.
But when he goes to YouTube, he can't seem to put all the pieces together. And that same thing happens. And it's like with him, he has the humility to just be like, "Hey, okay, so like how do I hook them? Like the first 30 seconds, like what needs to be there? And then like, when do I add my calls to action?" Cause like he understands, like, yes, he understands video, but sometimes just moving into a slightly different field will change how your skills replicate over. So when people look at YouTube and they say like, "Oh yeah, YouTube's easy. I make films."
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know.
This
It's not
is
as easy.
This is genuinely not to gas, but I felt very this way about Instagram, where I'm just out here posting. And obviously, like the account starting from nothing, because like before, like wasn't really posting. And like in just a few minutes, Brandon was like, "Oh, you got to do this, this, and this. And you got to stop doing this, this, and this." And then all of a sudden it was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." Because yeah, just because you can turn on a camera, craft a beautiful image, light it, mic it, do whatever, does not mean that people want to watch
What you're putting out.
And
Yeah.
so 100%. No.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Cam Mackey with the super chat. He says, "W for the mental talks on this live. The community needs it." Dude, like this is really the reason why we do this show live. Let me get you with your super chat, Cam Mackey. But this is the reason why we do this show live.
Yeah.
Is because we want to be able to have the conversations that you guys are looking for and also to build the community. One of my favorite things is like I got a DM from somebody who watches the show who's become friends with somebody else who watches the show, and they just hang out. They just talk.
Yeah.
And it's like this is a community aside from the two of us. And so if you guys are ever struggling with things, you can always DM us, but you can also reach out to other people in this community, because at the end of the day, we personally believe that like as creators, it can be a very lonely process. But it's important to have other people that you can lean on to. You can call people and ask them questions. I call people all the time. I called Brandon Talbot yesterday and was asking him certain questions about like how they're running their business and their podcast that they're doing. So it's like, it's important for you to reach out to people and ask them questions and not try to do this thing alone. So
For sure.
and that means going further than just posting on Reddit and hoping for a response. Find actual people, and we'll try to do our best to try to cultivate that community ourselves.
Yeah. So some final thoughts, like you really do need a community, because I feel like in all walks of life, what's going to happen is you're going to feel like what's happening to you is extremely unique. Like I'm the only person that has imposter syndrome. I'm the only person that has trash videos. I'm the only person that doesn't have the finances. And listening to a different business podcast, the only shortcut in life is mentorship. Like there's not going to be a shortcut to get a camera. There's not going to be a shortcut to learn DaVinci. There's not going to be a shortcut to shoot a movie. But literally finding a mentor, finding a community of people that you can like literally just be like, "Hey, this is what I'm struggling with. This is how I'm feeling. Hey, look at my work. Can you give me some creative feedback so I can get better?" That will be your shortcut to getting better at your craft. And so You didn't put your name on this, but I hope that your story will encourage other people that you're not alone, and being a part of this community and other communities, like, hopefully will help you to be able to grow, not just in filmmaking, but just in life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So to sort of put our money where our mouth is in a way of speaking,
Oh, glory.
me and Jarrell have decided that we think it'd be fun to touch on the topic that he says he feels like everything he makes is terrible. Me and Jarrell went back in time to find our very first, or for me it was my very first, but this is the oldest one that Jarrell could find.
Yes.
Our first real estate videos we've ever done.
We hid the bodies.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play these videos for you guys, and we're going to show you guys that like anybody whose work you ever like, they didn't start there.
And you know what we're not going to do? Because I was like thinking about this, like, Brandon, can we show something current too? But we didn't prepare to show anything current, so we're only showing you the old stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna show you guys the old stuff. But what I actually think is interesting about some of this old stuff is that like I still see remnants of the old stuff
for sure
in my work today.
Yeah. So also, you guys need to go back in camera models too. So like, yeah.
All right. So do you want me to go first, or you go first?
It don't matter.
Okay. So I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'll set the tone for mine. Here are my caveats. Okay. Here are the caveats I have. First off, I shot this 12 years ago. Okay. Also, I think I shot it on a 60D DSLR.
Wow.
And when I made this, gimbals did not exist,
Okay.
nor probably would I have been able to afford one. But what I did have was a really crappy slider,
Yep.
a really crappy tripod. But the thing I spent my money on, you ready?
Okay.
Was a jib. So I bought the cheapest, probably like a 3-foot throw jib, and tried to use that to shoot real estate videos. So you guys can see exactly where we started.
Chat, are you ready?
Dude, this is so bad. I don't know if I really want to show this. I feel like
Which one was worse? Which one was worse? Footage from last week or footage from this week?
Last week for sure. Yeah. Anybody who saw last week's episode, you got a treat.
Yeah. If you missed Black Friday's Brandon's birthday episode, go back and watch
You don't have
that.
to.
Brandon had a tutu on.
Oh my God, shut up. You wildin'. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that premium.
Oh my God.
That's that jib shot, bro. That's that
picture
jib
in
shot.
picture. We're still on that. We're still on
Yeah.
this.
Oh, you like that? Bro.
Dude, that's 60D.
Oh,
The image?
bro, I didn't know. Look, you see how jittery that is?
Hey,
That's
I'm only
not
looking at
having-
image.
That's not having a
Crop sensor? Let's go.
crop sensor. You know what also drives me crazy about this video? I didn't realize, like, turn off the light.
Well, it might have not been.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that was intentional. I don't think I was smart enough to do that on purpose. Why do you need to see this for?
Are you buying?
Bro, it looks like this is a furniture ad.
Oh,
It's so bad. Look.
right. Get him.
I'll tell you, bro.
That was
not,
a look.
this
Neutral. Look, dog.
Gotcha. Stop and turn it down a bit. Bro, it is oh, like that transition.
Oh, that dissolve. I love
that
it.
dissolve. Oh my gosh. Why are we so close to the bed? I don't
You
know.
jibbed it.
Oh, look, you can kind of catch the jib in the mirror. It wasn't good enough. You can kind of catch the weight. Bro, I love that slider. I love that slider. Oh my gosh.
Was the client happy though?
So this is one of 4 houses that I actually shot. So a lot of people, I've told this story multiple times. The way I got started, I'm trying to get the audio figured out. My bad, guys. This is our first time doing video playback. So yeah, so the way I got this job was I was looking for the opportunity to shoot real estate. I really wanted to just go on vacation.
Yeah.
So what I did was I reached out to like everybody I could find on this app called HomeAway. It was basically Airbnb before Airbnb existed.
Yeah.
And oh yeah,
Time lapse.
Time lapse.
Casey, nice stat.
And so basically what I did was I reached out on HomeAway and was like, hey, I'm willing to come stay at your house for free in exchange for a video, right? Tell me why. I reached out to probably like, I don't know, 70 people. I was just like copying, pasting, emailing. Like I was going down the list. I didn't even care if they already had a video. I was just like,
For sure.
maybe mine will be better.
Yeah.
Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And then somebody finally hit me back. A few people hit me back. That was like, oh, I'd be interested, but when would you come? Blah, blah, blah. This person whose house this was, they hit me back and they were like, oh yeah, we would love that. But we have 4 houses. Can you shoot all 4? And can you stay out there for about a week to shoot all 4?
Dang.
Bro, I was like, of course I can.
Dang.
So I stayed out in South Padre for a week with my family. It was like a free vacation.
Yeah.
And we stayed in each of the 4 houses over the course of a week because it was based off of like when one would be done and then we'd go to the next one and go to the next one. We stayed in South Padre for a week. I shot all 4 of those videos. And as you can say, the rest is history. That's how I got started.
Yeah.
But somebody, and I think this just goes to show, guys, those videos are terrible. Like, like that video is awful. And what's even worse, is like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to shoot video for you. And they were like, great. All I cared about was video.
Yeah.
I shot all those videos. After I was done, I sent her all 4 videos. She was like, this is awesome. Where are the photos?
Did you
said,
do
"What now?"
screenshots?
I said, what now? She said, where are the photos? I was like, oh, hold on. I grabbed screenshots from each of those videos and sent it to her.
When they don't know, it's perfect.
Bro, she was like, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And then I posted those same videos on Facebook, and it just took one realtor to be like, oh, I would love something like this.
Brandon, 12 years ago, that was hot fire.
I don't know about all that. But
I mean, obviously today.
Yeah, by today's standards, it's not
and
close.
This isn't like the biggest things that I noticed is wasn't really shot on a wide angle lens.
Yeah.
The pacing was a little slow. And then obviously you focused on things that probably shouldn't have been focused on, for too long.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like the actual image quality, like, bro, I had people in 2018 being like, does that picture move? Like moving pictures? Anything video was like mind blowing.
Yeah.
So I imagine that 12 years ago, people were like, bet.
Dude, 2012 is when we did it.
Bet.
But no, I didn't know anything about color grading. Don't ask me what frame rate I shot any of it in because I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't set it. Didn't set white balance. I was just like, let's crank some dials and press record. So, the water time lapse though?
Yeah.
Like why? We're out South Padre. House was on the beach.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty. I don't know.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure I shot that on an iPhone. I'm
For
pretty
sure.
sure I shot that time lapse on the iPhone.
Yes.
And just toss it in there.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Jarrell,
Brandon, I
you
don't
want
want to do
caveats?
this. I don't want to do this. I'm just playing. No. So, no, I don't have any caveats. The only caveats is, just like Brandon went into real estate video with really nothing. Like no, was shooting weddings before that. And so when a real estate agent reached out to me because of weddings I shot and said, hey, do you want to do real estate? I was like, sure, great. And so did it. Was working on I don't know if I had the original Ronin, that big old heavy monster 2 handles, or if I had been on the Ronin S, but I did have a gimbal. Yeah. Also, the effects were very timely. in that generation. So that's my only caveats.
All right, you ready? All right, let us know. What do you guys think?
This is 2019.
Bro, let's go.
Look at that drone shadow.
Bro, you had graphics?
Speed ramp.
Oh, yeah. At least you had some slow motion.
Oh my gosh, the speed ramp is terrible on every other shot, bro. Can't read the graphic. But we there though.
Oh my
It looks
God.
like all my lights are off too.
Why don't we turn the lights on?
Oh, you know you want to park?
Oh, look at you go with the drone shots.
Are we
bro.
on the lake?
Bro, this isn't bad. This is good, bro. I wish my
Bro,
first one
you
looked like
only
this.
say that because it's got drone shots from the Phantom 3. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you know what I will say that I love
Mm-hmm.
is I be loving that Phantom 3 Advanced with no orbiting,
Just
no smart
straight
features,
lines.
just straight lines.
Yeah.
Straight lines.
Flying a straight line. Dude, I will
Yes.
genuinely say that when it came to getting gimbals,
Mhm.
like, because I bought the first Ronin. I didn't buy the original Ronin because
Yeah.
that thing was expensive.
It
I
was.
bought the Ronin M.
I got fired from a job and got what do they call it? A severance.
Yeah. And that's how you got it.
$3,500.
Bro, that's
Walked
it.
into the store, slapped it down.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me them.
So I bought the Ronin M. Before I got the Ronin M, guess how long it used to take me to shoot a real estate project?
Oh, forever.
Dude, it took me like 2 to 3 hours.
Back hurt too.
Yeah. Got the Ronin, started knocking down houses in like an hour.
I had a friend that bought the Ronin S, and I was looking at it completely wrong. I was like, well, you pay like $500 for that. You can only hold it with one hand, two hands.
Yeah.
That's trash. And then I literally used it, and I was like, oh, we got to buy one of these
Bro, I remember
immediately.
I saw somebody shooting on a Ronin. I had a Ronin M, and I thought I was professional, I'm big time. I got this big handle, camera drops low.
You keep running in the doorways.
Right. I feel big time with my Ronin M, right? Dude, somebody had a Ronin S. All it took was this. They had it. They opened up the tripod legs and sat it down. I was like, oh, I gotta get me one of those.
This is not a DJI commercial, but when they put locks on the stinking arms of the deal, I was
Yeah.
like, I need one of those. I gotta upgrade.
Yeah, dude, it happens like that. But
Yes.
we show you guys those videos, hopefully, for you guys to feel just, first off, I know that most of y'all's work today looks better than that.
Yeah.
But that is honestly what got both of us going. Like, I literally booked jobs off of those videos, quickly made better videos, and then tried to book jobs off of those better videos. But all that to say that, like, for kind of going back to that Reddit story of sometimes your work doesn't look as good as it can be. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of factors to that. I'm not one of those people that think that gear doesn't matter. I think gear matters a lot, especially in certain areas. Like we mentioned with Jarrell's video. Sometimes the interior of the house doesn't look as good, but you can make a video look much better with some drone shots.
It's that 9 stops of dynamic range that Cam Mackey's talking about from those Canons.
Like it really is that. So sometimes it's better gear over time. You'll be able to upgrade and your quality will improve. Sometimes it's knowledge. Learn a little bit, realize, like I know for the longest when I would watch stuff on HGTV, I'd be like, how are they seeing out of the windows?
Mm-hmm.
All my windows are always blown out. And so like, I think it was like 2 years of trying to figure out how do I get those windows back? And what I learned was I was poor. So I just didn't have the camera for it. But eventually I could get to that point. So let's work up and buy a camera that's going to give me better dynamic range and start looking for those things and like how to properly expose for those windows without losing too much in the shadows. So it's stuff like that where it's just like over time, your work will get better. You will learn. And if you don't have confidence in your work today, just keep pushing find other people who you can grow with. And like Jarrell has sent me work. I've sent Jarrell work. And we're like, what do you think about this? What do I think about this? How can we make this better? And when you do that, you will naturally see everything elevate.
I think that goes a little bit back to what you were saying about frustrations. It is the frustrations that I had with the T2i that led me to the 5D Mark III.
Mm.
And then the frustrations, like the moment that the 1DX could do autofocus, it made the 5D3 like, oh man, I need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I held off from mirrorless for so long, but when autofocus came in and I went from having a hit rate of 30-40% to now 80 to 90% of my photos, I could take less photos, sometimes take less photos.
Yeah.
And take sharper photos more reliably. Like you move up. And so same thing in real estate. Like for me, I started on the 5D3 and man, oh man, that dynamic range for video, trash. Trash. But now shooting in the, and if like there's two ways to see out of windows. There's the quick way, and you need to get something with many more stops of dynamic range, like the C70 or the KX. Like those are both great cameras to be able to see out of windows with that DGO sensor. Or you need to do the long, hard way of either lighting it up on the inside or buying rolls of ND and NDing those windows, which either way, it's hard. It's a hard road.
That is this needs to be a multi-million-dollar house.
Shot over multiple days.
Yes, and we need, but I also like, but here's where like some of those things where you say you learn, right? I learned, I was shooting at the wrong time.
Evan's got jokes.
Yeah, Evan, I saw it. Evan, the cameraman, he said, Jarrell held off on mirrorless because Canon did.
I held off a few more years beyond Canon, but that may or may not be true.
Yeah, we know the real truth. But yeah, real talk. The reason why we showed you guys this was because hopefully, for our members, we want to do something similar with you guys. So, to all of our members who are going to be on that live stream on Wednesday, we would love for you guys to submit your videos to us. So, like I said, right after the stream, we're going to have a community post in our members area, and just put a link to your YouTube video, and we're going to react to it live. So whether you're there or you're not there, if you're not there, put your link and we'll definitely still check it out, and we'll give you our honest thoughts, feedback. And it doesn't have to be your first work. It could be something way more current.
Yeah, you could do something current that you just want feedback on.
Yeah, probably it's better that it's current.
Yeah.
So whether you can make it to the stream or not, we will still react to those videos. And then we'll also, if you have any questions, you'll be able to put questions there too, and we'll answer those. So whether you can make it or not, catch it on the replay, members will be able to replay that. So we want to make sure we have that available for you guys. So we wanted to start off by making a sacrifice by showing you guys where we came from. Hopefully, I didn't see too much harsh judgment.
Yes. They're kind.
You guys are kind.
They are kind.
For now.
Well, hey, this is a great time to plug memberships in general. So in memberships, there's so many like cool things that you're able to do, but you are able to get discounted merch. Not just that, we have bonus live streams for you. When you guys see people comment in the comments and they've got those special badges and have access to emojis, they're able to comment in that way. And we try to highlight their comments. And so there's so many different things. I know in the higher tiers of membership, we're going to have some coaching going on and all those sort of things. We want this to be a place that it's for everyone. You want to show up on a Friday and you want to chill and have fun, great. If you're like, hey, I just want to help support the channel, we got a tier for that, a low tier for that. If you're like saying like, hey, huge fan of the channel and want to grow my business, we've got tiers for you. And so definitely check out the memberships. It's actually linked in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now, we do have a few additional things that we want to touch on. First off, Jarrell.
Yes.
Canon's getting a little bit of love. We did see that Tamron has officially stepped into the Canon RF game with their brand new, is it an 11 to 20? I think it's an 11 to 20.
I think so.
The only problem is that I think their situation has sort of just continued to push the narrative that Canon is not going to be opening up that full-frame RF mount anytime soon, as Tamron's new lens is only available for crop sensor when it comes to the Canon ecosystem.
Yeah, this is kind of a mixed bag. Canon, open up the full RF mount for full frame, for crop. Open it up.
Yeah.
For literally autofocusing capability. Obviously, if you have a manual lens, cinema lens, you can do that for full frame. But it's time to open up. I know that you guys probably even still have more lenses. I know that you have lenses that you still are going to be coming out that's been rumored. But it is time. It is beyond time. It's been years.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dead horse. Am excited that Sigma is not the only brand now. We have other brands coming that are able to offer this, but in general, it's time.
Well, I think it's good that other brands are getting involved even on the crop sensor side of things, because I feel like when Canon does go, okay, we open up the floodgates, if you have a really solid crop sensor autofocus lens, it's probably going to be pretty easy for you then to adopt all the same things that you have to learn from the algorithm of autofocus and whatnot on the crop sensor. You'll be able to then bring that over to a full frame. So it is looking like if Canon were to open up to full frame, not only will we see Sigma there, but it looks like Tamron is now getting into the party, which I think is really cool.
And this lens looks dope. It's 11 to 20 f2.8, and Tamron makes great glass. I don't know. Somebody else might have to answer this, but I heard that Tamron makes glass for someone else, a bigger company.
I think that may not be public knowledge.
Oh, I'm not gonna say who.
Okay.
But because I don't actually remember.
Okay.
But Tamron, Brandon's like,
don't make it public.
high school. Tamron be making glass for another person, and another person be putting their name on it, and it's actually Tamron. So Tamron be making some fire glass, and for 11 to 20 f2.8 coming at $659.
I feel like if you have an R7, this is like a fantastic pickup
I'd throw
lens.
this on the KX, bro.
Oh yeah, I guess you could.
Glory. I love my 14 from Nisi.
Yeah.
But opening up to an 11, this might be a great real estate lens.
Yeah.
So we might have to be checking this out.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check that out. Also, we want to give some love. Brendan just became a new member. Shout out to you.
Welcome, bro. Welcome to the fam.
Welcome as a member. We appreciate you. And yeah, we are looking forward to doing that live event. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes,
so
it does. Sorry. Mr. Camera Junkie, yes, it does do autofocus.
Yes. All right, let's see. Did I miss any other ones? Let's make sure we got all these really quick.
So, Brandon.
Yeah.
Is it a talking or buying for you?
With this lens?
Yes. Do you have a need for an 11 millimeter?
For the Z7, I think so. I have a hard time buying a lens and then waiting. I did that with the Blazars and I hated it.
Yeah.
Like I hate waiting. So if it's in stock, how much did you say it is?
$659.
I think I'm buying. I think I'm buying. Because right now, my only wide lens that my biggest wide lens that I have is a 12 millimeter Laowa. And I love that lens. I love wide angle lenses. Real estate kind of got me hooked on wide angle lenses. Yeah. But a wide angle zoom that's 2.8 all the way through, to throw that onto the R7, or as you mentioned, to throw that onto the Komodo, especially because it is a zoom and it is that wide. I haven't really found a good wide angle zoom that can go that wide. At least that is RF mounted. Now, the only issue I have with it is that it only works on crop, which means I can't put that on like a Raptor or anywhere else. So
You absolutely can.
I mean, I guess I could stop down to 6K and shoot at S35, which at that point, I'm just gonna take my Komodo. It's lighter, it's easier, it's not worth it.
Trying to make it all work for that lens.
Yeah, that's the kind of that's mad dumb. Let's dumb down this camera for this really cheap lens we bought. But I think if you have an R7, which I do, and I don't think I'll probably put on my Komodo too often because I don't really put photography lenses on it that often.
Yeah.
I think
But you probably do for, what do you use for real estate on it?
Oh, I use the Nikons for real estate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've used your KX before.
Yes, but then it was a cinema lens. It was the Laowa 12 mil.
Okay.
That's probably where I would go for the KX. It's just that's probably the best bet. But for $600, I buy that lens.
Yeah, I need to see footage. I need to see it, but at $659, it's a buy.
It's the best one, I think, for the R7.
It's a buy. For me, it's a buy for the KX because, like, right now, 14 is really wide for real estate for me.
Yeah.
But let me take that 11 because when I was shooting full frame, the 14 doesn't get me there.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. You need a little bit more of a range. 10, I think, is actually the perfect spot. Canon used to make a 10 to 18 on a crop sensor. 10 is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
11's okay.
Yeah.
And 11 will work, but 10 is kind of perfect. But the 10s all had like a F. I think it was like a F4 to 5.6.
Yeah.
So, all right, quick. Saw a question. I wanted to answer this real quick. Mount Zion says, where do we post our videos for the reaction stream? So first off, in order to have your video be reacted to, you do have to be a member because the post is only going to be underneath the membership tab within community. So when you go to our community page, if you are a member, you will see members only community posts. And then we'll have a post on there where you'll be able to add your links and everything. So you do have to be a member. Just want to be very transparent with that. Because
it's $5. You can literally be a member just for this month. Take it down. Like, we think that there's lots of great reasons to be members for a long time. But if you want some business feedback, growth, have a question answered, we want it to be a smaller audience because we want to get through all of the questions, all of the videos. And while we love being with y'all, all 170, 180, sometimes 200 of y'all, like, you guys already know, as we are looking at Brandon's 159-inch TV projector, we only are able to hit so many comments on the live stream. But for this bonus stream, we want to be able to hit everybody's thing. So sign up to be a member. I think it's like $4.99 a month. Then you can go to the membership. So to be able to sign up for a member, click in the link in the description, become a member, and then in the membership area of YouTube, the community tab, there will literally be a place where you can submit your videos. Links.
We're gonna make that post right after this stream, and then we'll make sure that it's very clear.
Yeah.
All right. Last bit of information here. For all of you guys who are still rocking with us, you
guys are the fans, and we got some huge news for y'all.
Yes. So this is one just for the mega fans, just for you guys who rock with us.
Well, it's for everybody.
It will be for everybody.
But they're able to hear.
But you guys are going to hear a little bit of some insider information / I want to open it up quickly for some, because this show is for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay? So December 20th is going to be our holiday episode. I am pulling out all the stops.
Yes.
You guys have seen some of the graphics that we made for Christmas today. You guys have seen some of the new, some of the new. You guys see the set. But if I tell y'all that December 20th, I am pulling out all the stops. I am inviting all the guests.
Yes.
Tell me
someone.
Justin Porter's going to be there.
Who?
Porter's going to be there.
Portier.
Gerald Undun's going to be there.
Who?
Gerald Undun's going to be here.
The Gerald Undun?
The Gerald Undun will be here on the 20th.
Okay. We might be doing something.
And first time to the show, but not first time being interviewed by me, but I'll have that information out in the future. YC will also be here as well.
YC Imaging. Y'all know y'all like him.
We have amazing guests scheduled. Also, a huge regular of the show,
What about the Shillin' Chief?
the Shillin' Chief will also be here.
Cam Mackey.
We'll be in the building on the 20th. And Scott, who you guys have. You know what's crazy? Scott is so prevalent in the chat
Yes.
that I did not realize that he actually had not been on camera on the show before.
Dude, that's
We
crazy.
realized that, what was it, 2 weeks ago? A week ago, something like that? We started talking about this show. I was like, you've never actually been on the show?
Seriously.
And it made me, I had to go back and look. I was like, oh yeah, I guess he hasn't.
We were talking to Scott on the phone.
Yeah.
After a
After
couple
a
week show.
Yes.
Brandon, are all these people going to be on this show on December 20th?
They will all be here on the 20th.
Okay.
I don't want to give away too much more than that. So all I'm saying is, first off, I would love to hear from you guys. One, what is one question, if you could talk to any of the creators that will be on the show, what is one question you would like to ask that creator? So put the creator's name, dash, and then put your question. So that way we can go ahead and start gathering all of those questions you would love to ask these different creators. Also, this is an episode, and I am letting you know, Logan, the quick answer to that is no, they will not all be here in person. No, my office cannot support that.
They told their wives, we're piecing out to Houston.
But what I will say, I'll put it this way. There will be opportunities for people who are consuming this show
Yes.
live to walk away with some, we'll call them gifts.
Stuff.
We will have some Christmas gifts we will be giving out on this episode. But
Can we throw back a little bit? Just a little bit?
yeah, go for it.
So this will not be 25 days for Christmas.
No.
Last year, we were wilding out.
We were doing too much.
We gave away mega gear every day.
Yeah.
Shout out if y'all remember 25 Days of Christmas from last year.
Mr. Camera Junkie wants something. Lewis got something.
Yeah, Lewis got a little something. So it will not be that, but it will be worth it to be there.
It will be
on December
100% worth it to
It'll be
be
worth
there
it.
on the 20th. So I'm telling y'all, because y'all are the real fans, right?
Yes.
We want you to know, not only do you need to be there on the 20th, you need to be here live. I know that depending on where you are around the world, things happen at different times. So I'm trying to let the real ones know. This is the reason why we put this at the end of the show. The real ones, put it on your calendar, December 20th. You're going to want to be here live.
Same time, same place.
Same time, same place, right here. Hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out. Hit the notification
Are we
so
at
you don't
5,000
miss
yet?
out. Because we want to make sure you're here for that episode, because we want our real fans to benefit. And I do believe that a lot of these creators will have some of their audience show up on that day. And so I want to make sure that you guys are here. You are primed to walk away with some awesome stuff. I'm super excited about it.
Logan's a real one.
That
25 minutes of Christmas.
Bro,
100%.
you will have to claim your prize live.
Yes. Also, real quick, especially if some of you are like, oh my gosh, I got to get this question in before the end of the stream. You don't, okay? When the stream ends here in a little bit, throughout the week, put your questions down in the chat. We'll look at the live chat. We'll look at the not live chat.
Yes.
And we will answer questions. But absolutely, make sure you put their name so we know exactly who
Yes.
you want us to ask the question to, and we will try to get some questions answered.
Yes, we're going to pull from you guys to pull the best questions to ask them. We're going to be playing games. It's going to be a fun day. You guys are going to have opportunities to win some really cool stuff, but you do have to be here live.
Yes.
You do have to be here live. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of that and nobody misses out. I don't want anybody to say I didn't know. So hopefully you guys can be here. Joe, I see your comment. He says family commitment on the 20th.
You will be able to watch the replay.
You will, but maybe you'll want to put an AirPod in your ear and have your phone in your pocket. That's all I'm going to say.
It depends what the commitment is.
Yeah, well.
If somebody's getting married,
Put the AirPod
in.
We all know what a wedding sounds like. If you're getting married, maybe have one of your groomsmen put an AirPod in there.
Did I win?
Exactly. So definitely, we can't wait to hang out with you guys. Shout out to all of our amazing members who join us every single week. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. All that information will be there. Kenneth says, I'll watch while I see patients. Yes. Maybe your patients want to watch. Who knows?
Yes.
But we will see you guys. All of our members will see you on Wednesday. Information coming out on the community page. So be aware of that. You'll be able to submit your links. We want to see you guys live on Wednesday. Submit your questions as well. We already have a bunch of questions on the thank you for signing up video that we posted for our members. So be aware of that. But yeah, super, super fun day coming on the 20th. I just want you guys to know that. It's gonna be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. Shout out to y'all for making this the best podcast on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. Any last words, Jarrell, for the people?
Lit.
Oh my gosh. Why does this man have to say lit every time? All right. Thank you guys so much for checking out this week's episode of Uncensored, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.